Bánh Anh Em, we try our best to showcase the beauty of Vietnamese craftsmanship. I want to showcase different types of bánh mì in Vietnam. It could be from the south, like the OG, or it could be from the north, like bánh mì pâté Hải Phòng. Anh Em is mean brotherhood and sisterhood. When I came to America, when I had nothing, and I wouldn't be who I am today and where I am today without all the brother and sister that I met along the way. Hi, this is Chef Nhu. Welcome to Bánh Anh Em. This is 9:30. We have a lot of things to do. Come on in. This is our upstairs kitchen. That is the bread oven that we bake bread every day. So we have different types of bánh mì. We have OG, bánh mì pâté Hải Phòng, barbecue pork, rib eye, and chicken. And we also offer vegan sandwiches. We're gonna start to go downstairs to check on the dough. And we're gonna start to make our bánh mì. Let's go. This is our prep kitchen. We make a lot of bread here. But first thing first, I need to double check the dough to make sure that the quality of the dough is good. In Vietnam, the weather is really hot. Normally, it takes only like a couple hours. But for me, it's important for the flavor of bánh mì to develop. So we make it and let the dough rest in the walk-in overnight. In order to check the dough, you see like how smooth it is. It will determine how the bread turns out. It's like when you pull it, you don't see any like gluten structure break. The bánh mì itself, it had to be like very fluffy. So it's expand rapidly inside the oven. And we need the gluten structure strong, otherwise it will collapse and it won't be airy. The outside, it won't be crispy. The dough look really good already. This is our auntie, the bread baker. It took me over 2 years to come up with this recipe. I took a motorcycle from Saigon all the way to Hanoi and tried different kind of bánh mì. I went back 5 times. After I came back from Vietnam, I worked on my recipe for over 2 years. The other side of it is like it takes a lot of time. There's so many nights that if we bake a lot more bread, then I stay at the restaurant and sleep at the restaurant. But again, the restaurant is just so small, so I just brought like very small blankets so I could sleep here. I don't have pillow or anything. So we're gonna put the flowers and ice in here. So while we wait for the dough to get ready, I'm gonna start shaping the bread. Butter to the tray. Later on, after everything is done, it's easier to remove the bread. We're gonna do 3 bread here and 2 here to make sure the air could go evenly. It's really important to have enough room, especially with our OG bánh mì. It comes with our homemade pâté, which is the star of that sandwich. We also do different kind of Vietnamese coconut in-house. And it's also come with pork floss, pork skin, which we marinate and mix with roasted brown rice. In order to create the fluffy, super airy inside, we gotta create some layer inside of the bread. That's why we have to roll it. We pinch it over here in order to like seal it. If you don't seal it and the bánh mì is rapidly expand inside the oven, this one, it could open and it will destroy the shape. We're shipping 600 bread by hand today. Sometimes like I sleep at night and I have nightmare that I overproof the bánh mì. We still have a lot of bread to make, but I'm gonna let Auntie do it. I'm gonna move on to making roasted pork bánh mì. So it's now 10:45. We're gonna grab some pork from the walk-in. So this one we're gonna prepare for hair white, which is the roasted pork sandwich, one of our best-selling items. The skin is crispy and the meat has to be really moist. As you could see here, the belly part, so you want it a little bit fat. It's also lean, but you don't want it too much meat either. So it's like very specific kind of cut that I'm looking for. That's why the entire pork, a whole big pieces, sometimes we get only 1 piece for roasted pork. Sometimes, luckily, we have 2. It's like gambling, you don't know. Sometimes you spend so much money and you get only like 2 pieces like this. So with the crispy pork, it's very important to prep the skin. This is my tool. I want this area together, and with the metal tool, I can really adjust it. So this one, it just worked for me. You have to poke this one to create hole that later on it will help. So for the skin to puff and create the crispiness. So we want to use like younger pit. The skin is softer and it's easier to puff. So I'm gonna start to marinate the pork belly. I will cut it in a way that I don't touch the skin. Because if you touch the skin, it will create a gap right here, and this part, it won't be crispy. It's important that the meat itself has flavor, and we create our own rub here that have 5-spice, salt, garlic powder, black peppers. And I even have customer from Saigon, you know, she said that it tastes like the one that she have in Saigon, which mean a lot to us. The food from Saigon, which is southern of Vietnam, it's always a little bit more sweet. The central Vietnam, which where my family from, the flavor is really bold. It's spicy, it's strong, it's salty. I really massage it to make sure that the seasoning really go inside the pork. This one is sit overnight already. I'm gonna start putting salt on top of the skin. This one, it have nothing to do with the flavor. Just make the skin as dry as possible. I'm gonna put inside the oven for 30 minutes to remove the moisture from the skin. Then we start to roast it. Gonna move to the next step, making pâté. So now it's 11:30. We're gonna move to making pâté. It's a combination of liver, ground pork, and with Vietnamese pâté, we add crispy onions in it too. So it creates a thick paste that we spread it on our bánh mì. It's called bánh mì pâté Hải Phòng that we serve at our restaurants. The ingredients super simple. The bread is very small, pâté, and then the crispy pork floss. We're gonna use the old bread and soak it in heavy cream. The purpose of doing this one, it makes the pâté a lot more moist. What's different from Vietnamese pâté and French pâté is we use crispy onions, crispy shallot, and we use fish sauce to add more umami flavor to it. And I think the process of making pâté, like traditionally, Vietnamese pâté is also very different. We slow cook it. For example, I learned how to make pâté from a grandma in the north of Vietnam. The process of making pâté takes her generally like 8 hours. The pâté is the key ingredient for all the flavor. I'm gonna bring this upstairs and we will continue with the process. It's noon now. In order to make pâté, I normally grill the liver over charcoal. I like that smoky flavor, and it's also like to kill the smell from pork liver. I think working with charcoal, it could be a little bit tricky. We use the Japanese charcoal because it holds the heat a lot better. So we want like the heat as consistent as possible. While we're waiting for the charcoal to heat up, I'm gonna talk about crispy onion. We go through probably around like 200 pounds of onions every week. Every batch like this, it will take probably like 20-30 minutes. Some places, when they make pâté, they would use just regular onions. But to me, the flavor of fried onions is very different. So this is the final product. We don't fry a lot of onions at the same time because there's so much water inside oil, it won't create crispy onions. So this is the pork liver that we're gonna grill it over charcoal for our pâté. I'm gonna put all the ingredients inside the pot, and then the next step, I'm gonna add chicken liver and then bake it in the combi oven for 2-3 hours. It becomes like super soft. We finished with the pâté, then now we're gonna go downstairs to make hot sauce. So at 2:15, we're gonna start to making hot sauce. My staff already helped me to peel some already, but this process, it takes so much time. Most of the time, my staff doesn't wanna do it. This is the bird eye chili. This is the ingredient to make tương ốc bác, which is the hot sauce that we make to pair with our soup. Particularly it used with our phở. Each batch of hot sauce, normally it takes for us 6 to 8 months. We really struggle to find spaces. The rent in Manhattan is not cheap, but we sacrifice the rent for our hot sauce for our pickling that also take a lot of time. So the next step, I'm gonna blanch it in hot water. A lot of people ask us why we put so much time into making hot sauce. But in Vietnam, we pair different dishes with different type of hot sauce. I'm really surprised that when I came to America, then I saw only sriracha. For this hot sauce, it comes with salt, tomato, garlic, and a little bit sugar to help with the fermentation process. But we don't use anything else. It's very simple. So this is all cooking right now. We have some time. So I'm gonna move making nem chua bò. The cured beef ham that we're gonna use for the rice roll towel. The rice sheet towels is originally from my hometown. It's like a fun dish, wrap and roll with grilled pork, and we grill it over charcoal. So we have some beef here. It's really lean. With this dish, you gotta make sure everything dry. I have the garlic powders and black pepper. So when I mix it well, it creates like the chewy texture for the nem chua. So this dish, it comes with the steamed rice roll. It have a lot of components in this dish. So with the bánh chồng, you want something like umami, great grilled flavor. That's why we use pork jowl. It's juicy. And you also want some sourness, So we have green mango, we have mustard green pickle. But it's all come together and balance everything out. It's just so many components. So I had to debate with myself that should I put it on the menu or not, because I know that the amount of dishes that my dishwasher had to go through every day is such a nightmare. And there's a lot of time, especially during weekend. My dishwasher had to stay here until like 5 in the morning to really finish everything. And I feel bad. So this is fish sauce and sugar and garlic. So the very last step, I'm gonna add pork skin to it. It creates very nice chewy texture. We're gonna move it here. And you have to press it really hard. Otherwise, there's a gap between the ham and it will get broken. So after we're done with everything, I'm gonna weigh this down. I'm gonna put this away and then we're gonna move it to the next task. I want to introduce you to another component for us. This is called peanut worm, sasung in Vietnamese. I partner with a family in Quảng Ninh. They really go out there and then harvest this one. It creates very nice deep umami flavor, but it's also like a natural ingredient as MSG that it balances everything out. A lot of restaurants, they don't want to use this one because it's a little bit expensive. It takes time to ship from Vietnam. But this key ingredient, it makes our broth so much different us from any other restaurants. It have a lot of sand, so we have to wash it really carefully. So I'm gonna add some water in here. You just have to massage it so all the sand can just go out of the worm. I would let it soak for 10-15 minutes and then I'm gonna come back and wash it again. So the worm have been soaking for around like 30 minutes. It's like normally I would wash it for like 6 to 8 times. It have a lot of sand here. We don't want any sand that get into the soup. When the water start to get really clear, then this one is ready. So this one, you can just put it inside the soup. I just need to season the stock 30 minutes before we open and it's ready for the service. So it's 5 o'clock. I'm gonna start to score the bread. So this is the bread that we shipped this morning and we proof it for 4 hours. The process of scoring the bread, it makes the bread expand a lot better. I have to calculate the time to make sure that we bake the bread right before we open. And we have fresh bread throughout the night. I'm gonna put this one in the oven. I put the hotel pan with hot water at the bottom and provide a lot of moisture to help the dough to expand as much as possible. In order to achieve the thin crust and the fluffy inside, then I bake very high heat. I bake at 500 Fahrenheit and it would bake for around 20 minutes and it's ready for service. Every time we make around 30 bread, after you take it out the oven, you will start to hear the sound of crackling. And that's a good sign of really great bánh mì. So it's 5:55. We only have 5 more minutes to open for service. We don't take reservation. There's already a line in front of the restaurants. We don't take reservation because I grew up, there was no reservation such so ever in Vietnam. So no reservation. So it depends on the day, but normally I'm gonna stand up at expo station to control the food quality. I'll double check all the food before it's sent out. If any problem in the kitchen, that I jump in the kitchen, to help the staff. And I also look like how the staff plating everything. Make sure all the food is hot. If it's cold, then it should be at the right temperature. I normally will jump on the line every day to make sure, everything is done properly whenever I work. Now it's 6 o'clock, it's show time. I need 1 salted cod to go, okay? I need 4 more sandwich chiquita. 4 more. I need 1 noodle, okay, Aggie? I need the noodle first, Hector, por favor. For B3. I need 2 pâté chaud, okay? Thank you for spending a day with me, but the restaurant is really busy right now. You guys should go.